Hi once again and welcome to Talk Formula One. Hi from me and OBJ.
Hi, folks. Good to see you as always. And yeah, we're back. How about that?
So let's kick it off. Quick run through on qualies. What was your talking point for qualies?
Qualities for me was flat, absolutely flat. Not sure what's going on. Bottas, as you know, he had a 3 point penalty because for me, qualifying actually started from free practice. And I want to think that it was tactical for Mercedes to let Bottas be second off the grid. Otherwise, it would have been just too far down the line. Highlight for me, Corley, is we've got to keep an eye on Lando Norris. I mean, that guy is even matching the times being set by the world champ, and beating the time of other noticeable driver. And pleased that Alonso is showing some pace. So well done to Alonso. I mean, how about you? What did you take out of Quali?
Yeah, well, it's a hard one for the Mercedes team.
Indeed.
The Red Bull just seems to have the pace now. What Mercedes are going to do, I can't say. They were just, they were just outpaced. Having said that, I think there's still some fight in the Mercedes boys because they still managed to split the Red Bull. So that's something to, keep our eyes on because ideally, Bottas was second, Lewis was third, but, penalties have changed that. But, I guess there's still some fight left in them. Let's just watch this space.
I totally agree with you. I mean, the Red Bulls are just they appear to be miles ahead of the Mercedes, and yeah, they now it's almost like a runaway train now, a freight train that's lost all control and it's just running away. But hey, listen, I know you're probably not going to agree with this. Do we really have to talk about this? This chassis switch by Mercedes, putting Bottas in the faster chassis, which is clearly helping Bottas to keep with the pack, but maybe compromising Lewis Hamilton. I mean, what do you think is going on? How can we? I mean, what
I
comes
don't
to
think
mind?
there's any faster chassis. I think that was just to put Bottas' mind at ease. I don't think there's any faster chassis. Full stop. I guess, swiftly moving along, the only other thing I was going to add was the fact that Russell has done pretty well in terms of qualifying. He barely missed out on top 10.
It did. He's done quite well.
In the Williams, that is some kind of performance. So, but yes, as usual, the Ferrari boys haven't done too much, considering that they're Ferrari. But let's just jump onto the race. What do you take away from the race? I mean, not much change with
Nothing changed. Delay. It's a sobering experience. Yet again for me. I know you don't believe in this, slower or faster chassis. The fact is that Mercedes is running two configuration on their cars, and there's an assumption around the kind of performance we expect from chassis A and chassis B. I mean, again, going to the way Bottas performed, it's a good recovery drive for him. I mean, my focus is on Bottas for the race. I've got to be honest with you because, like I said before, the future doesn't look bright. But I was so pleased he was able to recover and not let Perez, get on the podium. I mean, that for me, that is the key point, the key thing I wanted to take away from that race. And of course, Lewis Hamilton, or should I say Sir Lewis Hamilton, being 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 I mean, not being in the number one spot.
Well, I guess it was a boring race up front.
It was.
But there were quite a number of, classic overtakes further down the field. I mean, bearing in mind, Leclerc had to, change his side plate from contact in the opening lap. And,
absolutely.
I mean, he practically fought his way back up the field. I would say he was my driver for the day, really. But not just him. Towards the close of the race, it was interesting to see Kimi Räikkönen pull an overtake on Vettel.
I was just going to say that a good old Kimi seems to.
Yeah, I take back my comments from last week saying that Kimi was in retirement mode. I mean, I was well impressed with that overtake.
Dele, I was actually going to pull you up on that. I was going to say, well, listen, man, you need to actually formally apologize.
Apologize.
If he ever gets to see this video,
Kimi,
you wouldn't have to.
I take back what I said last week. Are you happy, OBJ?
I am absolutely pleased. I was going to take you up on that because you nearly put the poor guy in the grave, actually, and you said he was an old man. He's past retirement, and we wonder what he's doing here. But hey, look at what Kimi did in the arguably slower car. He came up against Vettel and he delivered the needful. And hey, well done to Kimi. What can I say?
On the side of, not so good a race day, I want to talk about Pierre Gasly for starters. So much promise. It's a shame, but this is Formula One. Anything can happen. Shame about him. Likewise, it's a shame that Russell also had to retire the car.
I think it was. I was really hopeful for George Russell for a change. I was really hopeful for him, and I was disappointed. Yeah, you're right.
But all that aside, there were some good overtakes from Carlos Sainz as well. I mean, coming to the end of the race, he went past Lewis. If it was to just unlap himself. But yes. It did. There's our other former world champion, Alonso. He had a reasonable race. I think compared with his teammate, he's showing that, there's still some fight left in this old dog. So well done to you, Alonso.
Don't call him an old dog, because you know what? We're gonna have to get you back in episode 9 to say, well, listen, Alonso, we're quite sorry we called you an old dog. You're a puppy, in fact.
I want him to make me do that because, he's a two-time world champion. I want him, he got back into the car. I want to see, some of the old flair. I want to see him, showing us that he has that stuff that champions are made of. Maybe his machinery isn't quite there yet, but I still want him, to push that car a little more. I know he's got it in him. I just want him to show it to us.
He does. He does have it in him, and I'm sure we're going to see some fireworks sooner rather than later. I guess is what we're saying, Mr. Alonso. So listen, you need to do us proud, mate. You've been on the other side of the pond. What did he do? Did he remind me? Was it Indy cars? Did he race, or what was that all about?
Well, my lips are sealed on that for now. My lips are sealed on that for now. But in addition, it was interesting to see the Haas boys going ding dong. Schumacher and Mazepin.
Mazepin, yeah.
it's interesting. I always like, even when your car is at the bottom of the pack, to still see, there be, that competitive edge between, the last of the pack. So yeah, they went ding dong at it. So that's good to see. Hopefully they'll end up getting a bit more performance out of the Haas car, because in the past, the Haas car has been like middle of the pack, one or two podiums here and there. So, I expect to see a bit more. I might turn around and say maybe Haas were hasty to get rid of their former drivers. I can understand Grosjean, after his accident, wasn't really in too much of it. But
yeah, well, listen, I think Grosjean, we've got to bear in mind that there are physical challenges in addition to psychological challenges. So I wouldn't say it was the wrong decision, which I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh well, time will tell. Time will tell.
Indeed.
All in all, I guess it wasn't as exciting a race as one would have hoped for. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Mercedes come to the party this coming weekend. I don't know if they've got upgrades that can, do something for them, but they really need to respond, because Red Bull seem to be getting away with this title. Yeah. This title. And I'd like to see a bit more of a fight. If I'm sure Lewis is capable of taking that fight to them, but hey, right now it seems like Lewis is at a gunfight with a knife. Just my opinion,
You're spot on.
Come on, Toto. You guys need to, you guys need to do something, and you need to do it quick. We want to see, we really want to see a all-out fight here, no holds barred. And right now, I think we're not about getting that. So
we're not getting anything. Red Bull, it's like a freight train that is just on the loose right now. You rightly said the win today by the Red Bull was not a convincing win as far as I was concerned. It was way too easy, in my opinion. And I keep going back to the chassis switch. I really would like to know why Mercedes did that. What keeps coming to mind was when they took Lewis Hamilton's mechanic away from him and gave it to was that their friend's name. So I hope they're doing the right thing. Like you rightly said, Toto, you need to pull your socks off. If some I'm not quite sure why we felt the need to do that, but this switch is not delivering for Bottas, as in getting him on the podium ahead of Lewis Hamilton. But we could argue strongly that he's actually taking the win away from Lewis Hamilton. And the consequence of that delay is that if things carry on like this, and if we do actually have a faster chassis, and one that is not necessarily the fastest chassis, the wheelbase, the rear end, aerodynamics and all of that. And if it's compromising the team, we will not only lose the world championship, we may actually lose constructors as well, and it will be totally disastrous. And I think Toto needs to focus on that. So yeah, that's my 1 penny worth.
Well, I hear you use the "we" word, so I'd like to ask how much Mercedes pay you, because obviously you are a Mercedes diehard.
Oh gosh,
yes.
If there was another word to describe a diehard, should we go die harder? How about that?
Well, I guess that wraps it up basically for this week. Gentlemen and ladies, keep it locked here. We'd like to have your comments. In the time being, we've not had that many comments. Please, for whatever it might take, let us have your comments. Let us chat, after this program. Comments will very much be appreciated. We'll respond to your questions if you do have any. Let's talk Formula One. From me, take care. OBJ?
Yeah, thank you, Dele, as always. I cannot only echo what Dele has said. Let's hear your comments. If you have a bit of an inside view, what could be going on at Mercedes that we don't know about, we would like to talk about it. But right now, they're not giving us an exciting race, and it's so unlike Mercedes. So, folks, nice to have you with us, and we will look forward to seeing you next episode, which is the British Grand Prix. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.